The bond between dog and human has been forged for centuries, yet some of what we eat are toxic to dogs. Dogs are largely carnivores, but will also eat plant-based foods. It would be interesting to know some of the food items humans consume daily are toxic to dogs. So let us begin. Here goes some of the common foods we all give to our dogs as treat, but in fact, put our animal companion in deep trouble. Chocolate. Chocolate is toxic to dogs. Chocolate contains theobromine and caffeine. Both of these products can dangerously stimulate the body's heart and nervous system, leading to irregular heart rhythm, high blood pressure, muscle tremors, and possibly seizures. Both chemicals are used medicinally as a diuretic, heart stimulant, blood vessel dilator, and a smooth muscle relaxant. Dogs cannot metabolize theobromine and caffeine as well as humans can. But white chocolate rarely poses any threat of toxicity, as they contain very minute amount of theobromine or caffeine. It may take a few hours to develop the symptoms, but will last for few days. Treatment depends on the amount and type of chocolate eaten and may require decontamination by induced vomiting and administering activated charcoal to prevent absorption of theobromine into body. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts can affect the nervous system, joints and gastrointestinal tract in dogs. Dogs who eat macadamia nuts most commonly experience weakness in the back legs, vomiting and diarrhea. Affected dog will need care at a veterinary hospital if he starts shaking constantly, has a high fever, or becomes unable to walk. Because macadamia nuts are a very fatty food, dogs in rare cases may experience an inflammation of the pancreas after eating them. Grapes and raisins. The consumption of grapes and raisins presents a potential health threat to dogs. Approximately half the number of dogs who eat grapes or raisins develop kidney failure. Types of grapes involved include both seedless and seeded, store-bought and homegrown, and grape pressings from wineries. Vomiting and diarrhea are often the first clinical signs of grape or raisin toxicity. They often develop within a few hours of ingestion. Pieces of grapes or raisins may be present in the vomitus or stool. Further symptoms include weakness, not eating, increased drinking, and abdominal pain. Acute kidney failure develops within 48 hours of ingestion. Unfortunately, the toxic agent in the grapes or raisins is yet to be identified, and it is unknown why some dogs are affected by the fruit, while others are not. Onions and garlic. Onions are toxic to dogs and should not be eaten. Whether cooked or raw, all parts of the onion and onion plant are toxic to dogs, including the bulb, leaves, juice, and processed powders. No form of onion should be included in your pet's diet or treats. Raw or cooked onion and garlic contain toxic compounds, disulfides and thiosulfates, which damage red blood cells, leading to anemia. Symptoms may not be visible for several days following ingestion, and can include weakness, lethargy, pale gums, vomiting, diarrhea, and increased breathing rate or effort. If the anemia is significant, a blood transfusion may be necessary. Onion poisoning is consistently noted in pets who consume more than 0.5% of their body weight in onions. When dogs ingest large amounts of onion, it can be deadly. If your dog does ingest a large amount of garlic or onion, your best bet is to take them to a veterinarian. Garlic and onion poisoning are rarely fatal in dogs, but your dog may need supportive care to keep them comfortable. Salt. The most common causes of excessive salt ingestion include homemade Play-Doh, paintballs, de-icing salts, and seawater. Symptoms associated with salt toxicity include vomiting, diarrhea, muscle tremors, weakness, difficulty breathing, seizures, and loss of consciousness. It may even cause death. Toxicosis may occur with 2 to 3 grams per kilogram or the weight of dog of sodium chloride ingestion. Consumption of 4 grams per kilogram can be fatal. Xylitol. Xylitol is a sugar substitute used in many foods, including gum, hard candies, baked goods, sugar-free desserts and ice creams and toothpaste. Dogs are highly sensitive to this product, and it can rapidly drop blood sugar levels and affect the liver. Clinical signs can include vomiting, weakness, tremors, seizures, collapse, bleeding and jaundice. Effects on blood sugar occur rapidly, while liver changes may take 1 to 3 days to develop. Hospitalization with close monitoring and aggressive care is recommended for dogs who have ingested xylitol. Dogs that ingest doses of more than 0.1 gram per kilogram dog weight at risk for developing hypoglycemia, while dogs that ingest more than 0.5 gram per kilogram may develop acute liver failure. Treatment includes dextrose supplementation for hypoglycemia and aggressive monitoring, and supportive care for dogs experiencing hepatotoxicosis. Moldy food. Mold on food can produce toxins, which affects the nervous system in dogs. Foods most often associated with these toxins include moldy dairy products, walnuts, peanuts, or grain products including pasta and bread. Avocados. Avocado pulp is not toxic to dogs, but other parts of the avocado can be harmful to your dog, for example the pit of avocado. The one known poison in avocados is pecin. Pecin is a natural antifungal compound that can be produced within the avocado plant. Despite the fact that there isn't a known toxicity for dogs, some sensitive dogs can develop pancreatitis, even if they only eat a small amount of avocado pulp. Pancreatitis is inflammation of the digestive organ called the pancreas. In some cases, this condition can even be fatal. So it is best not to feed avocados to dogs. Tomatoes. Dogs can eat tomatoes in small quantities. Ripe tomatoes are non-toxic to dogs and can be fed in moderation. There are toxins in tomato plants that can harm your dog. Solanine and tomatine are toxins found mostly in the green parts of the tomato plant. Dogs should never ingest the leaves and stems of tomato plants and should avoid young, green tomatoes. Ingesting an unripe tomato or any of the green parts of the tomato can lead to symptoms of tomatine poisoning. Tomatine poisoning is rare in dogs and usually isn't fatal, and they fully recover from this poisoning. Potatoes. Potatoes, while not poisonous, may not be appropriate for a dog's everyday diet. Raw potatoes contain a compound named solanine, which could be toxic to some dogs. Cooking potato reduces the level of solanine. If your canine companion has diabetes, they should not be given potatoes, which can cause blood sugar spikes. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is toxic to dogs. The leaves can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and irritation of the mouth. The dog may exhibit symptoms like increased salivation or drooling, pawing at mouth, etc. The plant also contains something called oxalic acid, which can lead to formation of crystals in the urinary tract and can cause damage to the kidneys, which, in severe cases, can even lead to kidney failure. Nutmeg. Nutmeg is toxic to dogs due to a compound in the nutmeg called myristicin. At high doses, depending on other factors like size of the dog may experience disorientation, hallucinations, increased heart rate and blood pressure, dry mouth, abdominal pain, and even seizures. At low dose there may not be any side effects. These are some of the common food items that are good for human consumption, but toxic to dogs. When time allows, we will bring a video on what is good for dogs. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel for more such good videos.